All right, let's see what's going on with Freak Mill. Freak Mill clowned himself out of his own career. Let's see. Let's see if we're going to see him bunny hopping and, yeah.
Was once considered one of the biggest artists in the game.
Yeah.
Now, rappers losing
Weren't they all, though? Weren't they all at one point in time? Let's just keep it 100. Weren't they all?
their spotlight isn't anything unusual.
It's not really
we have
too
seen
much,
countless artists rise and fall for many different
Trash.
reasons over the years.
Trash.
But what makes Meek's journey from the top of the music industry to a lower level of fame so intriguing
Yo!
is not that he lost his ability to produce quality music, but instead, it was simply the fact that he became an internet
Yo,
legend.
mods.
And people haven't let up on scrutinizing or mocking every single thing he does. How did this happen? Especially for a rapper like Meek Mill, whose career began as a respected street artist and was raised in one of the grittiest neighborhoods of Philadelphia. My name is
JPEG, bro.
Luesta, and today we're investigating all of the events that led Meek Mill to getting clowned out of his career. Capable of spitting bars which depicted him in those rough areas of the city of brotherly love, Meek's early work felt raw, rugged, and essential at a time when not many street artists were popping off.
Look, if something nice can even turn cold.
I remember
in the
this.
streets of Philly when niggas don't even get to turn old. My heart pumping to a turn gold. You niggas stuck in neutral and riding like fuck it, it's a long road.
And even to this day, people still reminisce to the times when he was dropping classic mixtapes, or even his debut studio album, Dreams and Nightmares, which was home to one of the greatest intros of all time.
That is
Times
true.
like this, the rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this, in a matter of time I spent on some locked up.
His potential was evident for all to see, so much so that it's hard to believe that it went so wrong from there. But if we're to look back at when things began to get out of his grasp, it arguably started with a rapper who's about as far removed from the streets of Philly as possible. If we were to pinpoint the moment where Meek went from a formidable MC to a
And stop. Before he even says it, I don't want nobody to start yapping at the gums and talking loudly about Kendrick or this Future and Drake beef, quote unquote. The J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick drama beef. Man, stop it, bro. Y'all was going crazy on Drake before he dropped that. Y'all was going stupid. Why? Because everybody said that Drake is not a battle, diss type of rapper. And then when he came out with Back to Back, and he had multiple ghostwriters for that, which everybody does. He had multiple ghostwriters, but when he came out with Back to Back, everybody switched up. So don't switch up now.
figure of ridicule, it's fair that beefing with Drake is when things went from good to bad. As everyone, including myself, has covered extensively, Meek and Drake had a collaborative relationship until a track by the name of Rico, which dropped on Meek Mill's 2015 album, Dreams Worth More Than Money. After Meek took exception to a
album.
line about the girl of your dreams, which he interpreted to be about his then girlfriend Nicki
Nicki, I was about to say about Nicki. All about a bear. Drooling about a bear. Beefing about a bear.
Minaj, a beef ensued when Meek decided to out Drizzy for having a ghostwriter. But ghostwriter or not, he was about to get smoked when it came time for diss tracks to drop. On Back to Back and Charged Up, Meek pretty much got bodied in front of the whole world to see by Drake. To add insult to injury, Drizzy then detailed on his song Summer 16 that one night when they were both in the Four Seasons, Meek and Nicki had the room below his suite. To capitalize on this, he played Back to Back over and over again, with Meek doing nothing about it.
That's
Considering
tough.
Meek was known as the hard-edged
That's
rapper
tough.
from Philly, this wasn't a good look. But what didn't help is that there was a domino effect to getting clowned by Drizzy.
Well, he knew his MO. These rappers know each other's MO before they get into the limelight. They realize it before they get into the limelight. They're really not street dudes. They're really not gangster dudes. They're not none of that. Trust and believe, bro.
that even his then MMG label mate
Wale
Wale got involved in.
I honestly think, he brought like a pencil to a gunfight. He didn't bring a knife, a pencil. You know what I'm saying? You piece of paper. Try to paper cut him to death. Like, you can't compete with somebody that got them type of relationship.
In response, Meek didn't aim at Wale meaningfully. Instead, he went to Twitter, a place that would soon become a routine source of mockery for him.
And you should know better out of all rappers. in 2024 that you need to get off. You need to run further. Go to Instagram at least. Run furthest away from Twitter.
Basically say that he got his feelings
Freak
hurt.
meal.
Wale just ain't gonna tweet a thing about my album. He's been hating on me for a long time now. Don't even text me, cornball. Alongside coming across as overly sensitive, the fallout from the Drake beef continued to have a ripple effect on his career.
Of course.
Because every time he tried to stick his neck out and reassert himself, he just got destroyed publicly time and time again. When he decided to fixate on Drake's alleged ghostwriter, Quentin Miller, and even
Wow, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that?
time and time again. When he decided to fixate on Drake's alleged ghostwriter, Quentin Miller,
Bro, y'all remember? Even I was doing extensive research on Quentin. Bro, I was going to his page. I was seeing him go on Instagram Live, talk about, like, yeah, I was writing for Drake for years until he got, like, chastised and, exiled. Because he is a up-and-coming artist, up-and-coming rapper. But he got hired more and he got paid more money, basically hush money, from OVO and Drake. So he was like, well, shit, it's paying the bills. It's help me move around and take care of my responsibilities. So shit, my career is getting put on the back burner. I was watching his shit. I was watching Quentin shit.
and
for
even
real.
ordered his goons to put the beats on him at one
See?
point. It just seemed like a complete overkill to most people. Still unwilling to take the L and simply move on, Meek then implanted himself into
Budden.
the Joe Budden and Drake beef, where he referred to Budden as a crackhead. In typical fashion,
What?
Joe clapped back
Wait, what? Wait, what?
in Drake beef, where he referred to Budden as a crackhead. In typical fashion, Joe clapped back with a simple but effective putdown, and basically won the beef by letting the world know that he was simply too elite of a spitter to go blow for blow with Meek. Whereas when 50 Cent waded into the whole scenario, he seemed to bypass Meek's talents and go straight at his intelligence. When 50
Curtis
Cent was asked
Jackson.
about how Meek was dealing with his beef with Drake, he mentioned that Meek Mill made a questionable move by starting trouble with AR-Ab. AR-Ab is not just a rapper from Philadelphia
Oh,
like Meek
no.
Mill, but he's
No.
also known for being involved in some serious criminal activities
You don't do
that has
that.
him locked up in prison for the foreseeable future. Drake had mentioned AR-Ab in back-to-back, and Meek Mill's decision to target him was seen by 50 Cent as a bad move, suggesting it wasn't smart to stir up issues with someone so notorious.
It turned into the kid being on stage saying fuck AR-Ab. And I didn't understand it when he did that. I was like, it's a special kind of stupid going on over there. Now you just took something that completely was non-threatening with Drake and this one and turned it into something that could potentially turn into you bumping in Philly. You know, he's really not that bright. That kid is not that bright. Look, the easiest
Most of them are not. And 50 Cent is one of the OGs that is notorious for making clowns out of clowns. If you enter into the circus, you are bound to win some goofy ass prizes. But since Curtis Jackson is an OG, an overseer of the game, he calls them out. And that's why I fuck with Curtis Jackson to the max.
thing you could do is bring other people into the statements that you're saying, right?
Terrible.
While you write music.
Over time, Meek would backpedal to the point that he would even collaborate with Drake again, making this the first of several mishaps that he would make when it came to public relations.
Because you know that Drake steered your career into some troubled waters, some troubled neck of the woods that you were uncomfortable with because you were not necessarily a hood gangster dude. Come on, bro.
Over the years. However, while Drake and Meek eventually managed to patch things up, the same really can't be said for him and Academics. This long-running feud started when
Lord.
Meek first became aware of Act's content and his existence.
Oh,
Academics
Lord.
never reported kindly when it came to Meek,
Oh,
often calling his
Lord.
albums a flop and that he was steadily becoming irrelevant.
You spent all that money and still didn't hit over 100. This is sad.
It's important to mention that Ack is a diehard fan of Drake, and the fact that Drake and Meek had a feud in the past could certainly fuel his hatred towards him. But once he realized Academics had been covering his music on his account, he declared it a mumble rap promotion page. Ack isn't exactly loved by everyone, but even those who strongly dislike him realized that Meek was going overboard. Meek playing with himself with this shit. If it's really a mumble rap promo page, then why bother caring about it? Meek mostly just comes off as salty here. Surprisingly, Meek didn't catch on to the fact that targeting Ack a hip-hop blogger, wouldn't really bring him any benefits. Despite this, he continued to go after Ak whenever the opportunity arose, such as the time when he tweeted this in June of 2020, saying, "Academics is cancelled because he's a bad police and our culture doesn't need them." He also gassed a lot of beefs that got people killed and hurt and never donated $1 to the culture. We gon' holla at you next run, champ. While some agreed with Meek, others found it amusing that he believed he was in a position to target Ak and didn't hesitate to share their thoughts. People letting a blogger get them this mad, you know you can't cancel nobody, weak Mills. As time went on, each interaction between
That calls for this. Weak Mills. I mean, I said a whole lot of weak feels, weak Mills. So like a Fort fuck drop.
between Meek and Ak seemed to
let's
backfire
go to
on Meek,
Weak Mills.
only reinforcing
Weak
the
Mills.
idea that he is no longer a figure to be feared.
Hey, drop
or
me a
respected.
shotgun.
And when he essentially suggested that he was going to place a bounty on Ak's head, the
Oh
blogger
my
didn't hesitate
God.
to remind him that the whole thing was ridiculous coming from a platinum-selling artist.
Stop snitching on yourself. Stop telling the world you're greenlighting people and just do what you have to do. Because right now, like, when you say greenlighting, I send that to the police. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, yo, are you greenlit? Wait, Meek Mill just told me in front of the world I'm greenlit? Okay, here's the cops. Hey, Meek Mill, that's his account, that's his people. Do you say I'm greenlit? Are you dumb?
From that initial interaction onwards, Meek made an influential
Trust me, bro. This internet incel right here is always safe. This internet incel act is always safe, bro. Always. Trust me, always.
enemy who would be ready to pounce whenever he slipped up. As a result, whether Meek is weirdly eating fries from his legs by the pool, hanging from bamboo sticks, or allegedly paying for posts from blogs to try and boost his lackluster sales, Ak has always been there to catalog his many, many errors, including when he went for one of the most controversial figures in hip-hop in what should have been a home run, only to lose out again. A longtime friend of Academics, former king troll of hip-hop and verified snitch, Tekashi 6ix9ine's journey has taken a severe downturn in recent years. And yet, the man who had ratted on everyone in the 9 Trey Bloods somehow still got one over on Meek when they were beefing, only further cementing the sense that he was not to be taken seriously. After a series of back and forth exchanges, the situation escalated when they encountered each other in Atlanta. This led to a heated argument happening entirely behind their security teams.
That's a fact, you That's a fact, you Ain't no security. This is security. That's
People don't, man, I ain't about to say nothing about that. Shut up while he's walking back. Shut up.
Look, you tight, and you with police. And you with police. Look, that cop. That cop.
It didn't look good for either of them, but for Meek, who was seen as a real gangster, it especially hurt his image, which was already taking a lot of hits. For many people who supported him before, this moment seemed like a turning point.
We the best
Meek became an
music.
L after this shit. I'm sorry, I can't fuck with Meek after this. For others, it was a sign that Meek had some growing up to do.
Gotta stop putting people in positions that they're not ready to be in. I feel like a lot of the shit that Meek has going on, he was kind of pushed into it. Any wrong move and you could become the villain.
Right. Meek should have ran from that situation, and the internet would have killed him and said, look at Meek running. Like, no matter what, Meek was gonna lose in that situation.
This brings us to a critical aspect of Meek's career. For years, he seems to be caught in somewhat
And that's what happens when you always attempt to uphold lies. How many times do I have to tell y'all? When you uphold a life full of lies, that is when you encounter those situations. It don't matter what I do. It don't matter what I say, what I don't say. I'm the bad guy. I'm fucked up. I'm gonna get addressed. I'm gonna get pressed. These clowns, man.
of an identity
Clowns.
crisis where he can't decide whether or not he wants to be a street rapper or a motivational figure. This uncertainty in his choices often makes it easier for fans to
What's that
criticize him.
motivational figure for
Obviously,
real?
in his younger days,
For real.
no one expected Meek to be a socially aware rapper. But following his incarceration in 2017 from a parole violation, the man that re-emerged seemed to be different. After being released from jail, Meek became a campaigner for change, teaming up with Michael Rubin, who also wouldn't make things any easier for Meek in the long
I believe he got a mask on. His scruff under his neck with the beard, that looked fake. His pupils, that looks fake. That looked like he It's makeup. Fake. 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 Fake.
Long run, as you'll see later, Meek launched the Reform Alliance, an organization which fought to change how the prison system and sentencing operated. This was a far cry
Chico,
from
what's
street
good,
beef,
bro?
and it looked like Meek had really turned the corner.
Overwhelmed. I come from being in prison just 7 days ago.
What's
What I
happening,
call
man?
History, because I know it's a lot of voiceless men and people I personally know from being in prison, sitting next to them every day, who are dependent.
But the thing is, you are not the voice. You are not the voice. Because you know who else said they're the voice? Your man's Lil Dirt. He's the voice of the hero. That's what he said. He's the voice of the streets. And you see what he's doing, where he's at.
Depending on me, and I feel like God has given me a
God.
great platform to help
God.
many others and make Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the world a better place.
Name of God.
However, just months after it appeared he had a new focus and brand direction, he was back to speaking recklessly. One example of this is when he got himself banned from
just
the
came back
area
from my
by a
football summer
local artist
practice.
named Poundside Pop.
Football summer practice. In March? Well, I know y'all starting early and shit. I know football, start early, but damn, already? Sheesh.
Rather than continuing to preach the virtues of peace or rising
y'all do, like,
above
weights
it,
first?
Meek tweeted, "We run the hood. The fuck is you saying? LOL." At a time where he should have been moved on from worrying about running Philly
run
to
the
running
hood.
his own
Shut
businesses
up.
like his mentor Jay-Z, Meek had still talked tough whenever the opportunity arrived. And at the age of 36, it's not necessarily a good look.
Niggas ain't fucking with me, man. I be hearing a lot of people talking and shit like that. It's really like that. Like if I go out in my hood, it's really like that.
Oh, Lord, come on, Weak Mill. Come on. Come on. The same sound of the trombone. We ain't trying to hear that dumb shit, nigga. What's wrong with you, bro? If I go out my hood, I'm good. Really, I'm good. I'm straight for real, y'all.
Really not. I don't want to entertain of. We say we got 500 murders a year. That means it's a lot of killers in our neighborhood.
And which one are you doing? Bro.
When I come out in Philadelphia, I'm like super safe. You know what I mean? It's not nothing to promote. And if I come out, we bring real street niggas together from city to city.
Yet, as Wayno noted on Everyday Struggle, this wasn't a lesson Mill
my
seemed
God.
willing to learn, and it meant that his own Dream Chasers label couldn't take off as it should.
I wish that Meek would see that he's like, I wouldn't say above things, but certain things he just gotta stay out of. You know what I mean? As an artist, as a person in the game, a lot of them don't want to leave the streets alone because, yeah, it's a lot of bullshit that comes with it. But the streets is a mentality. I felt like I understood Meek's.
They don't want me in none of these
You know, I
rooms,
think that
none of these
Meek is a lot
podcasts,
of
none of these
shit wrong,
situations.
because a lot of artists don't want to sign with Meek, and I don't know for what reason, but I don't, we haven't seen Meek as the artist that breaks artists. I think he needs to just create some detachment between him and the streets.
Rather than just being a statement without evidence, Wayno's words would come true when it was revealed Roddy Ricch happily discarded his ties to Meek once he got big. To preface this, it's important to note that Roddy Ricch was once speculated to be on Meek Mill's Dream Chaser label, to the point that he was even spotted wearing a DC chain. Roddy Ricch had a vague affiliation to Meek back in his early days. However, as time passed on,
Yeah, when he was
Roddy's
starting
connection
up.
to Meek.
That's the point of connections. I'm gonna use you to jump up here. That's what they do. Or excuse me, misuse. I'm gonna misuse you to jump up here to get with them. So then I'm gonna say fuck you, kiss my ass, bite the dust, nigga.
Affiliation to Meek back in his early days. However, as time passed on, Roddy's connection to Meek began to fade. And he has since stated that if he were to sign with any artist's label, it would have been Nipsey Hussle's, as he felt Nipsey did more for him than Meek ever did. Still, Meek continued to assert that Roddy was taken from him by Atlantic Records, and that he had been blackballed during one of his infamous Twitter rants. In response, Roddy, who was 11 years younger than Meek, explained that this wasn't the right way to go about business.
My only situation with him, he know this, so I can say whatever I want to say. One thing you're not gonna ever hear me do, I'm a real nigga. I don't speak on shit lit.
That's real niggas don't say they real niggas all the time. Real niggas don't promote. Well, I ain't gonna say promote. Real niggas don't put on a billboard with their face, I am the face of real niggas. You need to detach and disassociate yourself from even saying that if you are that thing. Let your actions and what you do for people speak louder than what you speaking on this Shure MC7B mic. Cause you surely are lying through your teeth right now. Mr. Real Nigga.
Whatever I want to say. One thing you're not gonna ever hear me do. I'm a real nigga. I don't speak on shit with niggas. I explain this to him. Please, let's not speak on our business and situations. Can't even call each other on the phone.
Essentially cut out of the Roddy Ricch story, this isn't even the only time that his label basically
Everybody
threw
wanna
Meek
hear
to the
about beef
side.
and drama,
Even
y'all
when
need-
he was deep into his career
why y'all-
and should have been.
Y'all find it ironic why they always call it beef? And in America, we are the most gluttonous, fattest, obese of people ever in history of life. Big fat, big fat, slobbering, goobing ass thing. Big drooling, goblin drop, goblin stopping ass thing. Y'all nasty. No wonder y'all love beef. We want the beef. We want meat. Big nasty ass. Big nasty, truthfully. Big nasty, dirty mouth. Big nasty kidney stone mouth. Disgusting.
Seen as a fully fledged star, when he released 2021's
God,
Expensive
bro.
Pain, they still treated him like
Hey,
any other
after this,
artist
we
in
going
the
on the
G
green
side.
app.
So
Let's go.
why would they do this? Well, due to how Meek
Don't
is
miss
treated
it.
these days and how much the fan base
JD and the Fam
has
Radio.
changed over the years.
Weak Mill,
they
I'm
can do
tired of
so
seeing
with
you
no
on my screen, bro. Let's fast forward.
Besides, his sales
Sick of
with
it,
fans
sick of it.
ultimately agreeing that his music doesn't hit as it used to in recent years.
Well,
This
duh.
intense search for validation left both fans and hip-hop commentators, such as Charlemagne the God, to clown him even more.
Why do you care what people on social media think? Why do people need validation from social?
Stop. That's the. Y'all reporters are so brain dead. Stop. I'm not gonna go in detail because why would I explain nothing to your bald, shining macadamia nut head ass?
Media. And by the way, Meek, you can't get on social media and ask a question like that
Nah,
because
that's what I said.
nobody's there to give you serious answers.
Not at all.
Cut it out.
I would say probably
That is
80%
true.
is going to be BS and they just going to be attacking you because they can.
And when you consider how brutally Kanye West disrespected Meek, it's obvious that the big dogs in the game also don't see him in the same light because of everything he's done to make himself a target for clowning. For example, look how Kanye reacted when Meek tried to call him out for wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt amidst the George Floyd riots.
And I put White Lives Matter on a t-shirt. Oh, you know what? Let's go get celebrities. Let's go get Puff Daddy. Let's get Dave Chappelle. Let's go get Meek Mills. What made somebody think Meek Mills could say something to me? What made this is the funniest thing of
Really though. Because he's laughing at the fact that Weak Mills is in his brain. Meek Mills is in his brain. Weak Feels is in Kanye's brain. So that's why it's hilarious. Laugh on.
Yo, man, I'm about to start crying, laughing, man.
Real shit, though.
Although he didn't respond to these claims, it didn't make any impact because
Come on,
at
Weak
the end of the
Willis.
day, Ye and Meek are seen as in two different leagues, not only creatively, but financially. As Ye has no shortage of slip-ups on his record, the one thing you can't say is that he isn't true to himself. Meanwhile, the past few years have resulted in Meek being viewed as a toy for billionaires who like to boost their credibility by dealing with hip.
Now, y'all ask me how many times y'all have heard Ye say, I'm a real nigga. Let that sink in, clowns.
Hip-hop, as was the case for Michael Rubin. As I mentioned earlier, Meek has been linked up with Michael Rubin for a long time. Since then, he's added Robert Kraft to his list of exceptionally wealthy friends. But that doesn't explain the way that he gets treated by these guys, considering that Michael Rubin should really be treating him like an equal partner in their organization. Meek, the former gangster from Philly, has allowed himself to be mocked by
You need to
these
stop
people
saying
too.
that.
Posting pictures of the toilet bowl after the Rubin White party like a sorority girl on wine coolers, to the many, many pictures of them embracing very tightly. The relationship with
Yo.
Rubin might have done wonders for his advocacy, but not for his reputation.
You're gonna get another drunken hug tonight. I don't care what it
We've seen this live. Have y'all heard anything from the littlest baby? Anything in the streets? Y'all hear that? Yeah. That's rats pissing on cotton. That's rats taking the cheese from your pantry. Can't hear shit. Cause he's shutting the fuck up. Cause he know guilty as charged. He guilty as shit. Just shut up.
Anyone says you're getting a drunken hug, you too, drunken hugs are coming tonight.
Hey yo, freak.
And you know what drunken hugs mean? For all you for all of the insubordinate thinkers here, a drunken hug means I'ma hug you from the back and probably pick you up and jiggle you. And probably, grope a little something.
Are they sharing a blanket? To make things worse, it doesn't seem like the address book is being put to work either. With Baby also getting his reputation destroyed by staying around
Look what I told
Ruben,
you.
It was presumed they were to acquire Game. But by the
Lil
looks of
Baby
it,
showing all
this
his
isn't the
secrets.
case whatsoever, as Meek still can't bring his projects to life.
Meek said this on Threads. He said, yo, where's that person in Silicon Valley that will work with people like myself with influence and build this social media music-based app where you go to hear new music, watch exclusive interviews?
I have never clicked on a DJ Academic stream. Well, that's not true. On YouTube, I did one time. But come on, bro.
Content where if you sign up, you may get new content from your favorite artists and sports players. I think I would do sports and entertainment.
You know what you are? That's what you are. DJ Snackademics.
Meek Science. Now, if you're hanging around 15 billionaires and you still tweeting like this trying to find that nigga, what the fuck are these billionaires doing? What are they doing for you?
They hugs.
I think Meek may have meant to send this in a group chat. I'll be like, yo, Meek, why are you asking the general internet this? Meek should be going to Mike Rubin and saying, listen, no more drunken hugs. I don't want you to try to rub my leg no more, brother. What I want you to do is that I have this idea for an app.
He's saying Meek playing football.
Y'all are using me for my social equity and my cultural coolness. Yo, let's do business.
Between all of the mistreatment he's received both in rap and within the most exclusive sectors of society, it's now created a scenario where no matter what he does now, it's always tainted by his public persona away from the mic. As a result of this, it doesn't matter what he does, the go-to response is to mock him. For instance, Meek wasn't even given any leeway when his team made it to the Super Bowl. Although Dreams and Nightmares was a bit of an unofficial anthem for the Eagles, his decision to celebrate them making it to the big game with a freestyle over Hit 'Em Up just led to even more trolling. Bro could have just congratulated the team and moved on, always doing the most. I refuse to believe Meek Mill is a real person.
Damn,
Aside
that's
from
fucked
that,
up.
one of the biggest factors that continues to damage Meek's credibility is that things just aren't well thought out. Screaming in fast food restaurants aside, this is a guy who will ask how African people hear his music, or announce his love for Candace Owens, even after she spent months dissing him for going to jail, and not expect to get any backlash because he doesn't calculate his moves at all. Likewise, when he tries to assert himself, like when he recently revealed that he charges $250K for a feature,
Oh,
all people
hell
did
no.
was
Put
wonder
that
how this was
down.
possible in 2024. We can name 1,000 better ways to spend $250K other than a Meek Mill verse. Seen as the butt of
100.
every joke, it's reached a point where he can't even kick an abuser off his label without getting blasted for it. Once footage surfaced of Dream Chasers' artist, Vori, literally threatening to kill his girlfriend, Meek Mill took swift and decisive action to remove him from the label ranks. As, let's face it, the last thing Meek needs is even more bad publicity or reason to be torn down by the general public. But even with Vori behaving in such a deplorable way on camera, people were still not willing to take Meek's side or
I don't know
stand
who
with
the
him
fuck
in the
that is.
action he took. Dude always preaching about some bullshit. Bro, we don't even care if you're from Philly. Vori is better than Meek. This ain't 2012.
Wait,
no
what?
longer seen as a top-tier artist,
know
nor
Vori, I
a
don't
cultural
know
figure of note. It's fair to say that Meek's mishandling of his public
And
image
Fabio
and the
Born.
scrapes he's gotten himself into have really done considerable damage
collaboration.
to his career. To make
Yo,
matters
B-Strap,
worse, it
what's
was
good,
recently
fam?
revealed that Meek was one of the redacted names listed in a new sexual lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs,
Uh-oh.
leading many to believe the rapper is gay. This has sparked numerous memes
Uh-oh.
all across social media, as Meek's
And when was this made? This was made 2 days ago, and now we are 2 days forward, and everything came to fruition.
response to the drama was to say anything but admit
You at the
it was
airport?
false.
When you leaving? Oh, no, you at work or...
But he is incredibly bad at proving he's straight.
However, Meek tried to be smart in this situation and put out a 5-song album in an attempt to capitalize off the publicity. Sadly, it would backfire. And as stated in this post by his
2
enemy,
hours?
Academics, the results
Oh, you
weren't
lit,
looking
bro.
too well.
Weak Mills. Mm-mm-mm.